Michael Jordan is so incredible. There'll never be.
The moral is you should not talk trash to Michael Jordan.
Yeah. We come out of the fourth quarter, KG like, man, keep going at his ass. Serve him. He can't guard you. He's quiet. I'm looking at him like, chill. Because Mike was literally right there. I don't care. Keep going at him. Wow, too strong for this dude, man. Mike looked at me, looked at KG.
Hands on hips, legs locked. The nigga stared at me for about 15 seconds.
I was like, Mike, he don't know the rules of the game, man. He's just a young puppy. You know what I mean? Mike looked at him again like, okay. Looked at me like, okay. I said, what you looking at me like that for, right? Went to the fourth quarter, man. That man got about 17 quick.
We down 25 now. It was just at 2.
Mad, looking at KG, looking at me, looking at KG.
It got bad quick, yo. Man, my bad, my bad, dog. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He like, it's cool, man. I told you. Just shut your ass up, man. You're not fucking.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Scotty 2K, and today, man, we got a good video for you guys. Of course, 2K22's been out for a little while now, been out for a little over a month, which is crazy. It seems like it's been out a lot longer than that, but I'm bringing you guys a Michael Jordan best build, the most accurate build that I could come up with in NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Of course, there's a lot of MJ builds out there. A lot of people trying to mimic MJ's style, and you already know MJ's the best player of all time, the greatest of all time in my opinion, and to get a build just like him is impossible because he was just good all around, finishing, playmaking, shooting, defense obviously. So we tried to make this build as accurate as possible to Michael Jordan, and I have a couple builds for you guys. So the first one I'm going to talk about here, this is going to be my more accurate MJ build kind of later on in his career. The next build, the second one's going to be a more younger, quicker MJ, which I'll talk about. That's going to be more of a perimeter lockdown, whereas this one I feel like is going to be a little bit more on the offensive side. Also, this build that I'm going to talk about here, this is going to be more of an ISO build, I want to say, because you are going to get elite contact dunks, you're going to have high playmaking, whereas the second build, that's going to be more of a perimeter lockdown, spot-up shooter. You're going to be able to hit really well, but your playmaking's a little bit low, which of course we'll talk about here, but again, you're going to be able to play amazing defense. You have a 99 steal, which I'll show you guys, and that's just going to be the difference between the two there. We're going to start off here with, of course, MJ, Michael Jordan, shooting guard, right-handed 23, and the best settings I had for this is going to be 6'6", 217, wingspan 7'2", and then defined. Of course, he was 6'6", so we're going to try to match that as close as we can as possible, and then the weight, 217 just works, so we're going to go 217 on that. And here are the stats. So I'm going to talk a little bit about as to why I came up with these stats. So first, I wanted to make sure that we could get elite contact dunks. You guys already know elite contact dunks, you need to have a 92 driving dunk and an 80 vertical. So we did put that on this build, so you're going to have elite contact dunks. You're going to be able to shoot really well. You have 27 shooting badges, 86 mid-range, 82 three-pointer, and of course for my rec guys, I got that free throw up to 71. But before we dove into the shooting and everything else, I wanted to just quickly talk about the finishing and why I also put post control on, because both of these builds I'm going to be talking about are going to have post take. So you're going to be able to get post takeover, post shot daggers, which is absolutely broken in this game. And of course, when it comes to MJ, he was obviously one of the best size up, fade back shots in the game. Probably the best, him and Kobe. We want to make sure that we have that post shot daggers to hopefully mock as close as we can to MJ and get this build as close as possible. So 74 driving layup. Yeah, I know it's a bummer. I think MJ's layup package, I think you have to have an 88 layup. I could be wrong, but you're not going to be able to get MJ's layup package, but a 74 driving layup is still pretty solid. Mid-range, high mid-range, this is going to allow you to hit post fades, because in Next Gen, there is not a post shot option for the attributes. So the post shots included in the mid-range, so we're going to have that high mid-range. You're going to get solid post shot. Of course, 82, we all know in this game, shooting is super easy. You can hit consistently with a 63-pointer damn near. So we got an 82 3-point. You're going to be able to hit really well with this build. And then, of course, free throws I mentioned for my rec guys. I got that up to 71. Now, pass accuracy, I wanted to make sure that we at least had bullet passer on silver, and to get bullet passer on silver, you do need a 70 pass accuracy. So we bumped up the pass accuracy to 70. The ball handling is at an 84, and then the speed with ball is at an 80. So we're able to get quick first step on gold, which is amazing. All right, now when it comes to the defensive and rebounding, here are the stats we have for this: 85 perimeter defense, 90 steal, 78 block, and then a 65 rebound, which bumps up your offensive rebound to 35. So we have 65 defensive. Obviously forces up us to make us 35 offensive. I've already put a bunch of VC into this build, so one thing I would actually do to change this is changing up my perimeter defense to make it an 86, because what that does is it allows you to have gold menace. So I kind of dropped the ball there. I would probably play around with this, maybe move the block down a couple, and then move perimeter defense up to 86, so you do get gold menace. So just so you guys don't make that error, I screwed that up and ended up having just silver menace, which has still been pretty solid. But I would say if you guys want gold menace, which seems to be a pretty solid badge this year, I would definitely take some off block and throw maybe one on perimeter there. Of course, you're going to get your Hall of Fame interceptor. You're going to get your gold pick dodger, gold pick pocket, clamps at gold. So still pretty solid on the defensive end. Now the physicals. So this right here is going to be the difference between the two builds that I'm going to show you guys. So right now you could see the speed is only an 83, and you guys know with 2K just how it is, how it's been. Man, you got these 6', 6'1" builds running around the court, 97, 98 speed, 95 speed with ball. So keeping up with them's going to be a little bit difficult with this build. I would probably, if you were looking for a more perimeter lock, more defensive build, I would definitely go with the next one there. But of course, we have 83 speed, 81 excel. We maxed our strength out as well to 60, 80 vertical, so we get those elite contact dunks, and then stamina at 91. And then, of course, we got our takeovers, and you guys could see, man, we got a bunch of different ones to choose from finishing to spot up to defense, lockdown, to post shot daggers, obviously, which is what I selected. And I know there's a lot of builds out there, a lot of MJ builds that you probably get one or the other. Like if you got post shot daggers, you don't get finishing moves. But I wanted to make this build to mock MJ as much as possible, so we were able to not only get the post shot daggers, but also the finishing moves with the driving dunk and stuff like that. So I would throw those two on there. Up to you, up to your playstyle. If you prefer to maybe do finishing moves and then a lock take, you could definitely do that. You know, maybe throw extreme clamps on or something like that. But that is the build, and of course we have our two-way slashing shot creator. That's going to be the first build. Let's jump into the second build. So for the second build, guys, of course you can see there's really one difference here, and that's the position at point guard. This year, there really isn't a difference between shooting guard and point guard. You get the same amount of badges, you get the same attribute potential. The reason why I set it to point guard is because I want to ensure that I am guarding the one with this build, because you guys are going to see that the perimeter defense is high, the steal is high, and I want to make sure that no matter what, I'm on that one guard. I'm on that point. So that's why I made my position point guard, right-handed, jersey number 23. And the difference between this one is it's a little bit shorter, a little bit less in weight, and then has 1 inch shorter of a wingspan. So we're going 6'5" and 199 because that's going to give us that 90 speed. 7'1" wingspan, of course, defined. And then here are the attributes for the second build. We get 15 finishing, 26 shooting, 10 playmaking, 29 defensive and rebounding. So obviously, guys, the one earlier, you got a lot more finishing, a lot more playmaking. But what this build here is primarily meant for is as a perimeter lockdown, is a spot-up shooter. Of course, you're going to have some decent finishing moves with driving dunk at 82, you know, driving layup 68, obviously not the best, but we took a lot from our finishing and moved them into defense, and I'll dive into that, into the reason why. But I mean, you guys are still going to be able to get silver posterizer. You won't be able to get pro contact dunks or elite contact dunks, unfortunately, but slithery finisher on gold. Haven't had any issues with that. Now, the post control, again, it's a trend. You guys know MJ's Obviously, his post game was absolutely insane, so that's why I have the post control up to 80 so I could get that post shot daggers take. Now, the shooting, this is where this build's going to be a little bit better. We have our mid-range at 86, our 3-point at 83, and then our free throw at 75. So we do get an extra point on the 3-point shot. I mean, I hit non-stop greens with this badge layout with 83 shot. That 3-point shot, super easy. Now, the one thing that I am not too happy about with this build is the playmaking. So if you guys are a primary ball handler, if you ISO, whatever, this build is not the one for you. I would recommend checking out the first build and going that route because, again, you could see that we don't have the best playmaking. One thing I do want to say is with 25 pass accuracy, I haven't had too many passes that were terrible. The pass accuracy at 25, I was still able to make passes, make some solid passes, and keep making passes without throwing it completely out of bounds or just completely missing the target. Yes, you don't get bullet passer, which is kind of a bummer. Yes, you don't get needle threader, special delivery, but honestly, you don't need that kind of stuff, especially if you're going to be a spot-up shooter and have this crazy defensive attributes. So pass accuracies at a 25, ball handles at a 70. We also have unpluckable on silver, quick first step on silver, which you all know that speed with balls at a 66, so it's not the highest there. But again, if you guys aren't the primary ball handler, this is such a good build, man. When it comes to the defense, you guys, it's unstoppable. I mean, you're getting picks in the lane. When I go into rec, I just, can spot up, get open really easily because you have a high speed. You're at 90 speed, so your off ball is really well. You can get open, you can hit the spot up really easily. The next part, the defensive and rebounding, this is where the build shines. Of course, you could see the two main ones when it comes to guarding the perimeter, obviously, is going to be perimeter defense and steal. So I wanted to make a build where it had 99 steal, but still had enough to compete on the offensive side as well. That's why we had to take some away from playmaking, but 99 steal, that gets you Hall of Fame pickpocket. Of course, you get that actually at 96, and also you'll be able to get interceptor on Hall of Fame. If you wanted to do ball stripper Hall of Fame, you could do that because you have a high steal. And I do believe that you unlock new animations after 90 overall. I think that is on next gen, is when you hit 90 steal, you unlock new animations. But man, this has been absolutely crazy. I've just been going off when it comes to defense with this build. Of course, at 95 perimeter, we're able to get Hall of Fame clamps at 94. You're able to get Hall of Fame pick dodger. You're able to get Hall of Fame menace, which, as I talked about in the earlier build, menace is such a it's a really good badge to have, especially if you're playing really good defense. So Hall of Fame menace. Even with a set, you got a 70 block, so we got silver intimidator, bronze rim protector. Like, this build is nuts. Rebound chaser on silver because we do have a decent rebound at 83, a pretty high rebound at 83. So this build, I would say, is my favorite build so far in 2K, just because the defense, man. The defense, it makes such a big difference having that 99 steal, 95 perimeter. You're able to lock down these quick guard builds that are 6'1", 6'2", 97 speed. You're able to link up with them pretty well. Those are the defensive stats. Now, the last one, of course, we got the physicals. We maxed out speed and acceleration, 90 speed, 88 excel. We have an 80 vertical still, which is super solid, and then a 92 stamina. Where this build does take the gold as well from that last build is the speed. You can tell, the last build we had an 83 speed, which honestly is probably around MJ's speed. I think in the game he might be around like an 84, 85 if you look at his stats. But this build's going to be able to keep up with those guards, going to be able to guard the perimeter and play really good defense. Now, you could see we do have our post-shot dagger takeover still. Like, that was one of the big things I wanted to make sure that we had, because the post-shot on MJ was like no one else. So post-shot daggers we have on this build, as well as extreme clamps, because the defense, again, is absolutely insane. Now, you guys can do spot up if you really want to. Honestly, like, when it comes to rec, I would probably recommend throwing on like spot up precision and extreme clamps. But when it comes to like running 2s or 3s, maybe you're in the park, post shot daggers man, it is absolutely insane. It is so OP. You guys want to try this build out, try out the post-shot daggers, especially if you have a small guard on you. Like, they're not going to be able to stop you, trust me. But anyway, guys, that is the build, and we got a two-way sharpshooter. That is the second MJ build, and if I had to pick between the two, I would probably go with this build just because of the speed, the defense, and how I play. I'm not really the primary ball handler. I don't ISO. I get open, all right? I get open, and then I hit the shots. I play good defense, and really that's all what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to dribble around, go, behind half court, dribble for 10, 15 seconds, and then hit a Curry slide for 3. I'm not going that route. This build is meant for those guys that are just trying to get open, hit their open shots, play really good defense, probably the best defense you could get when it comes to perimeter, and just take over the game that way. So anyway, guys, if you do like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Of course, if you want to see some more builds, sub to the channel. I'm going to be coming out with some live streams as well. I'm going to stream right here on YouTube. So, of course, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!